Hear ye, gather round for another edition of Young Kings Wrestling, featuring the Sovereign Soundboard. As always, you can find us on most platforms that stream your favorite podcast episodes, including Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Alexa. Play Young Kings Wrestling on Amazon Music because we're available there as well. If you're listening on iTunes, leave us a review of the 5-star kind. Links to all the platforms and the merchandise and social media and everything else available at ykwrestling.com. Still no word on our sponsors yet. In due time, we'll maybe have an update next week. Possibly. As always, I am the thespian TC Fontaine, joined by
Freak Angle.
Yes,
sir.
What's the occasion? Because it's Veterans Day? Or?
I don't know. I was thinking of something on the fly. Oh. I have one prep, so I was like, shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, just give it to me.
Yeah, so I'll just put you on blast in front of everybody.
It's all good.
My bad.
Keeping the streak alive. We got
it. Hey, listen. I got something to say about it. Because my bad.
Play as fuck up.
I ain't mean to.
It'd be like that. We all good.
Because, I be improvising a lot, too.
Right. That's it.
Nobody know that I be improvising unless I say something. So, my bad. I didn't mean to.
There's not a lot of scripting that takes place here. So,
you know. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, some of my jokes be scripted. You gotta work the jokes out. You gotta work the timing out. Like,
yeah. This is a production.
Yeah. You gotta put a little bit of effort into it. So
yeah.
Shout out to the people that put effort into their podcast. I love y'all. We out here. I'm trying to put more effort out here too. I'll be seeing y'all out here interviewing wrestlers and stuff. Got the nice little layouts and setups and all the nice graphics.
Hell yeah.
I'll be trying to get the graphics up. Like, we just got a sponsor this year. And they owe us some money. We gonna take care of that this week, hopefully. Hopefully.
Gotta get these motherfuckers.
If not, we're gonna have to move on. So that's all it is. Hey man, if you listening wherever you listening at, YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, wherever, welcome to Nuck If You Buckingham Palace. Shout out to German football. Watching some German football in the morning, NFL.
Facts.
6:30 a.m. for your boy. I did not get up at 6:30 to watch football.
Nah, ain't no way.
I got up close enough to record this show though. I woke up the same time I wake up for work during the week, so damn. I can't wait to take a nap later is what I'm saying. I'll be damned.
Ain't no way. I'm sorry.
Not on my day off, no. Waking up the same time? Nah, son.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
That's that passion that we have for Young Kings Wrestling over here, man. Hey, but look, we watch wrestling all week long. I did not watch any old wrestling this past week, but I was on this Kevin Nash podcast again. Click this Kevin Nash podcast, and he reviewed his filmography on IMDb. So the thespian had to tap into that. Y'all know my boy was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 2, Secret of the Ooze, playing Super Shredder.
Yep.
And he had talked about that. He said he got recruited by, I don't know if he said producers or the casting department, but he said he got recruited at a wrestling show. Like somebody in the middle of his entrance just like shouted out to him. And at this time he was wrestling under a mask. So he's like, who the fuck is this? And know my real name under this mask in 1989. You know how that is back then. Like, so but they reached out to him. I guess the person they originally had tapped had passed away. And so they was like, man, seeing this dude 7 foot wrestling, we're gonna reach out to him.
Why
And,
not?
and the rest is history. He talked about working on John Wick. He said every day on set, him and Keanu Reeves shared a glass of wine. uh, he was supposed to be Cable in Deadpool 2.
What?
Yeah, they wanted him to be Cable. Ryan Reynolds wanted him to be Cable.
Yo.
Cable big in the comics.
Right, yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds wanted him. Schedule didn't work out, so they went with Josh
so much
Brolin.
sense. And it's crazy too. I got a poster. I got a Deadpool poster right here with Cable on it, and I'm like, yo, that's like the perfect. That's the perfect. Like I wasn't mad at Josh Brolin. Like he was solid.
Nah, it was crazy, especially after playing Thanos.
Yeah. But nah, he said Kevin. Like, nigga,
that would have been dope.
Hell yeah.
And he would have loved that check.
Mm-hmm.
That Marvel check.
Listen, man.
Speaking of Marvel checks,
Kevin
man,
did
you watch
a check for a reason?
Oh yeah, for real. Him, Jared, all the.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marvel, did you see Wakanda Forever?
Just last night, bro.
Hey man, so y'all know what time it is.
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes. Give y'all 5 minutes. Y'all can fast forward 5 minutes from now.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Yes.
R.I.P. Chad.
Bro, they hit you as soon as it started, bro.
Dog.
I couldn't get a minute to settle in first.
Yeah, I showed up late, so like we went to the drive-in, because get more comfortable. I can eat what I want to eat at the drive-in and shit. Had some Wingstop, so showed up a little bit late, and as soon as I was like, man, was this the right movie? It's nothing but a whole bunch of white people. Like, what's going on? Like, where the Africans at? And I looked, and I was just like, okay. As soon as they said vibranium, I was like, okay, this is the right movie. Right. Like, where the Africans at?
That's what I'm saying.
So like, what's going on? Come to find out, they, CIA, they trying to find out where the vibranium at. Still.
What else is new?
And that's T'Challa fault. Y'all let this white CIA agent in the last movie come around, and they try to accuse this dude, have him arrested for treason and whatnot. But nah, they came right off the bat. So I'm looking at the other screen that's starting Black Panther over. So I'm like, I gotta catch the beginning. So I'm just watching it. I gotta see it with the sound up, but just watching it, I was like, damn, this is powerful. This is like I was crying.
Ooh,
I was like,
man.
this is how we honor, this is how you honor a king in real life. Like, I like how they tied it in. Is T'Challa died the same way Chadwick died, pretty much. It's undisclosed illness that nobody knew of.
Right.
So shout out to Shuri, the new Black Panther.
Man.
Y'all knew what was gonna happen. Y'all tried to. Y'all on the internet, y'all was trying for so long. Y'all didn't want her to be Black Panther at all.
Like, what else would have made sense?
Right. I didn't, you know what I liked, but I didn't like? I liked Riri Williams.
Yeah.
I didn't like them bringing in Riri Williams here. Because you already had Shuri. It was just like, it's the same shit.
Like, I see what they was going for when they did that. Yeah. And, like, Riri Williams is, like, relatively new in the comics. So, like 5 years. The fact that they brought her in so soon, like, okay. But I guess
I knew they would, but
yeah, I guess like you just didn't want to introduce her in like her own show before you had a proper introduction. So it's like I get it. But listen,
got to put her with the black people.
I'm gonna say this, and I damn it, I mean it. Auntie got to get an Oscar for this one.
Oh yeah,
because she was working her ass off in this movie.
Hey, I'm just mad they killed her though.
Me too, bro. Like, come on, man.
So y'all gonna kill the king and the queen in the same movie?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that's how y'all do.
Y'all put Shuri through it, man.
And her daddy, her brother, and her mom.
Right, and then she turned around. She see Michael B. when she she took the thing.
Hell yeah, Killmonger.
I was like, oh.
So your hair get longer after you die in the afterlife? Is that what's up? Your hair was longer than mine.
Right. Like, yo, he was in the ancestral plane just chilling.
X. Who be retwisting his hair in the plane? Or nobody else did?
I don't know.
You think he retwisted on here?
I mean, I guess they must got some stylists up there somewhere,
They got to. That's the African power.
Right.
And he had the power of the Black Panther too, so
Yeah. So that
maybe that's what it was. It give you extra hair growth or something. The
right.
power of the Black Panther.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to the new Panther, man.
Facts.
Shout out to Namor. He was killing.
Yo,
Mexican Thor.
they told me Namor was showing up in this movie. I'm like, I gotta see it first. He killed that shit.
He went crazy. What
Yeah.
we rating this movie, man?
Oh, 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna
10,
give it.
10, 10.
Is it better than the first one?
I think, honestly, I'm gonna watch it back, but I think it might have it. It might just have it.
I didn't want to be a prisoner of the moment and say it because like the first one just hold a place in my heart. Like
Yeah.
the whole experience of it, everything going into it, everybody's so hyped. That hype wasn't there for this one. Like you didn't
Right.
release it during Black History Month like the first one. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went to the movie theaters and like people were so desperate to dress up in African garb that they was wearing
Yeah.
iron on dashiki on a t-shirt.
Real talk,
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
it was like
it
that.
hasn't been 5 minutes yet, but I think we summed it up pretty much. It's Ryan Coogler don't miss.
Oh no,
Not
not
to
at all.
me. I seen a post that said Fruitvale Station was on Hulu. Don't watch that shit if you've seen it before. Don't
Nah,
watch it again. I watched
nah.
it twice. I've seen it twice, and that's the
Ugh.
first time was enough for me. Like the first time I watched it was because like I heard about it, like Ryan Coogler, Michael B.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan. I knew the story of Oscar
Right.
Grant. So like I had to watch it just off rip because it's a black movie. But then like the second time I watched it was for film class, and I struggled to get through it because I knew what it was about.
Yeah.
And every
Yeah.
time I cry, every time I get pissed off, I get mad. Michael B. Jordan was incredible. Y'all need to respect my boy too.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all at this point still y'all don't respect this man. He cold to me.
I don't get where this is coming. Like, bro, that
I
he
don't get
been
it
that
either.
dude. He been that dude for how
Chronicle,
long now? At least. And that's a good, what, 10 plus years ago.
yeah, Chronicle was what 2011. It's
Yeah.
Googleable. Hold on.
Is he the 2010 or 2011?
I didn't even know
Nah.
who Michael B. Jordan was. Like, I didn't know it was a dude from The Wire and Hardball. Like, I didn't
Listen,
realize that was him. I just
I
thought
was
it
about
was
to
a
say,
dude.
I'll take it all the way back to Hardball if you don't want to do it, because he killed it in that movie too.
Right. I bet he caught some bodies during that shootout at the end too.
Oh yeah, I know he did.
He had to
I know
put
he
in some
definitely
work.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Chronicle came out in 2012. So
Yeah.
10 years, man.
A whole 10 years.
He
Like,
he been he been putting in work as an adult for 10 years. He been putting in work in Hollywood for 20. I need to respect
mm-hmm.
my man.
That's a
Because
fact.
you don't stick around and put in this work. I know Hollywood, you know, but still, you still put in work though,
Big facts.
regardless.
Big facts.
And him and Ryan Coogler, they don't miss.
That's a
Black
combination right
Panther,
there. About to have Creed.
Fruitvale. Yeah, he did do the first Creed, didn't he?
Yeah. Well,
He
he
did
doing
he
this.
direct it or he wrote it?
Um, I want to say he wrote it.
Yeah, he
He's
wrote it and he directed Black Panther.
Yeah.
And then like he produced Creed 2. And then Michael B. Jordan directing Creed 3. So I'm
Yeah.
hyped to see his directorial debut.
Yeah, man.
That's how you really know. If everybody else fire in that movie code, then we're gonna have this discussion about Michael B. Jordan. But until then,
Yeah.
we just spent like almost 10 minutes talking about film. So let's talk about some more wrestling.
Yeah.
This week in history, man. Today, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. It has been damn long ass time, 17 years.
17. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I remember like it was yesterday. We talked about Eddie Guerrero, episode 63. So
Mm-hmm.
if you feel inclined to go listen to that, that was on the 15th anniversary 2 years ago. So we broke down Eddie Guerrero's career, everything, added him to the throne. He was what, the second member after Jeff Hardy, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Had to be.
Maybe. Maybe.
Had to be. Yeah.
It's up there.
Also this week in wrestling, November 9th, 1997, Montreal Screwjob.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're not gonna get in detail about that. You've heard everything you need to hear about the screw job. To that point where last year, your boy did some research. So you can go check out our episode last year. I'm sorry, I don't have the number for this one. I might go find it. I'll try to find it. But Montreal Screwjob. I presented my theory on that last year. So if you remember how that
Oh
goes.
yeah. Oh my god.
November 9th, 2008. This one I forgot about. Ricky Hatton defeated Chavo Guerrero on Monday Night Raw. You remember that?
Oh my god. Vaguely.
So
What year was that?
2008.
Damn.
This is apparently they just fed Chavo Guerrero to every guest host around this era. You remember he got into it with Snoop.
Mm-hmm.
Snoop hit him with the weakest clothes on.
Right. I do remember that.
November 11th, 2007, Booker T debuted in TNA at the Genesis pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'd be back in WWE like 4 years later. Main Event Mafia. It's probably Booker T's greatest moment. That was everybody's greatest moment in Main Event Mafia.
Yeah.
Even Kurt. And like Kurt was on another level. Facts. Sting was on another level. And Main Event Mafia, Steiner.
Oh my god.
He's fat.
Man.
I think I need that on the soundboard. He's fat.
Yes. That's gotta be on this fat son of a bitch. Nah, man. And this is 167, by the way.
167?
Yeah.
This one?
Yep.
Okay. So what's the screw job? It would have to be like one in the teens, in the 1 teens, or the 120s. So that'll help narrow it down. I'll go check at some point on this episode and update y'all on that. Happy birthday today to the legend in New Japan, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Also, happy birthday to Sarah Del Rey. Other birthdays this past week, the legend, Hall of Famer King Kong Bundy, Ted DiBiase Jr., Keith Lee, Kazuchika Okada, my boy Butch. Happy birthday to him. And Cowboy Bob Orton had a birthday this past week, as well as former Peasant of the Week recipients Chris Jericho, Ryback, and Leo Rush. So happy birthday to everybody. And I'm gonna let you get the royal address of rumors out the way because I have a Peasant of the Week that I just need to address. It has been on my mind ever since it was brought to my attention. This is not going out to any wrestler, but yeah. So yeah, let's get this royal address of rumors, and then we'll focus on that. In the meantime, I'm gonna look and see what this screw job conspiracy episode was.
So. All right, so I'm gonna first and foremost, quick shout out to Pat McAfee, expecting his first child, him and his wife.
Yeah,
shout out
after
to y'all.
Several attempts, he almost lost his wife.
Yeah, man, that man is working his ass off everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to Taryn Terrell. She just announced her retirement from pro wrestling. Don't know her. She was Tiffany in ECW, the worst general manager. Wife. Yeah. Worst general manager in ECW history. Probably in pro wrestling history. But had her run
in pro wrestling history?
Maybe not.
When Brad Maddox was GM?
Oh, you know what? I'll take that back.
Come on now.
I definitely forgot we had Brad, and that's a whole nother story for another day. Yeah, she had to run WWE, had to run TNA, and just recently, spent a lot of time at NWA. But yeah, so and speaking of the National Wrestling Alliance, that's where I'm gonna start it off at, because they're going through it.
Oh, now that you brought that up, can I? And I just want to play the sound bite. Billy Corgan.
I'm packing the edits. Guess what?
Peasants, you peasants. Yeah, man. Get that out of here.
He ain't your peasant?
He not my peasant, but I'm not gonna get into full detail on it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna let you explain why.
Yeah. Oh.
I decided to play that soundbite for Billy Corgan just now.
They are in shambles, right? So I mentioned this last week because when we signed off the week before, it had just broke that Nick Aldis gave his notice to the company, and a couple other people have been dropping off since then. And I guess Billy decided he wanted to do some damage control, because he had some shit to say when it came to Nick leaving, because they took him off all the bookings that he had once he gave his notice. And he basically said, listen, I don't know why I would book a guy who's not going to be with us no more. He said he's opting out of his contract, which we had done for a while. We've known each other for a while. He said it's his choice, but he don't do business that way. So I'm not gonna. He said, why would he be trying to use NWA's good name to get himself over? Which I don't think that's the case. I mean, he's been with y'all for how long now? I would think he'd give the guy benefit of the doubt, but that's just me.
Yeah.
He also has something to say about NWA Empower, the all women's pay per view, and man, so we all heard about how Anthony got his little involvement, brought some talent over, a couple, and all of this, all we heard was about how Tony Khan was like saving women's wrestling and stuff like that. But I'm gonna just read this quote from Billy when he talked about how he got some backlash because there were no plans to do another one. So he said, nothing is more dumb than trying to spin a guy like me who ran an all-women's pay-per-view, which was a huge success. I built it around Mickie James as a talent and personality. I endorsed the whole thing. I let her build the card. I lost money doing it, but now I'm against women's wrestling. The conversations with Mickie were about running another Empower. I said, if it's not going to be as good or better, we probably shouldn't do it right now. If people remember what I said, they obviously don't. There isn't enough top available talent on the market right now. And obviously, because Tony had signed a lot of the talent there too, and he's not in a working relationship with Almost Exclusively White. So he can't just pick up the phone and ask for, hey, can you send me some people? And the fact that Tony was trying to take credit for what Mickie accomplished, this wasn't, it wasn't something that it wasn't going to be working out like that. He's saying like it wasn't just going to be just about the women. It was about giving other people, with different voices and opportunity. And that was what the discussion that they had with Mickie, because they had known each other for a long time, and that's what they were going for. But yeah, that's they got a lot going on, and there was one more thing. I think there was one more thing. Oh yeah, Nick was saying how why he left and everything like that, but yeah, just saying that the product was moving away from what he had looked at, envisioned. It's not what he had in mind when he got started there. It's just the direction is basically kind of the same thing that Cody was talking about when he left AEW. It's like the direction ain't the same anymore. It's moving away from it, and he wasn't feeling that no more. So that's simply that. He's got a certain feel for it. He's a traditionalist, and when we start getting away from that, then it's time to go.
Thanks.
But yeah, NWA is having a time. They're having a time right now.
So real quick, if you want to know our thoughts on NWA Empower and that whole Tony Khan thing, as well as this information on the Montreal Screwjob, can all be found on episode 115. It's all in the same episode, ironically. We did not plan that.
I'll be damned.
But yeah, shout out to Billy Corgan. I don't want to shout him out because he did put the NWA title on a black person, second time ever.
Yeah.
It's just that black person was Tyrus,
Yeah.
formerly known as Brodus Clay, Mr. Fox News.
Yeah, I'm not.
So,
I'm
like,
not
does
with
it
that.
count? Does it count?
I don't think it does. I don't think it does.
I just found out Tyrus was black like 2 years ago,
Right.
which is just like, I mean, he did look black.
I
I just wasn't
suspected it.
sure. Yeah, I
Yeah.
also expected it, especially when I found out he was like Snoop's bodyguard back in the day.
What?
Something like that. He was bodyguard for some rapper. Might have been Snoop.
Shit.
I'm like 80% sure it was Snoop, but it was somebody. So it used to be somebody's bodyguard back in the day, or for a rapper. So like off that, I was just like, yeah, he might be black. And he looked like every light-skinned dude that's big and tall that I know of.
Yeah.
Every mixed dude. This dude was a dinosaur. So I wasn't sure if he was black or not. Apparently he is.
True.
But shout out to R-Truth.
Big facts.
That's the first black NWA champion.
Real
Shout
shit.
out to him. Yeah. What else we got in the rumors, man?
So this just popped up, and I find it hilarious because I talked about it not that long ago. So Bobby Fish is officially about that fucking around and find out life because he had a boxing match last night
What?
and got a TKO.
What?
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Just came up about right about the time we started. Let me see here. He was having a so for Global Titans Fight Series, and he was working this match, this fight on. Oh, this was one of those Floyd fights. So yeah, he was on the undercard for one of them little whatever these fights are Floyd be doing
Little
occasionally.
kickboxing.
Just
Yeah.
So he worked that and got a TKO win, second round.
Okay.
So yeah, Bobby Fish is about that fighting life. Philip, just so you know, he apparently resurfaced too. For those who don't know, he was doing commentary. I forget what the fight was.
So this dude can wear a suit to do commentary for this obscure MMA promotion, but he can't wear a suit when he's a champion of a nationally televised wrestling promotion. How does that work?
Right?
Imagine taking the commentary of CM Punk seriously.
Yeah, Cage Fury Fighting Championship. He done some stuff for them before, like before he came back to wrestling.
Yeah.
So it ain't his first rodeo, but like you said, you know, he just wanna sit up there. And...
That's like me taking Dan Orlovsky's analysis on NFL seriously. I don't. For good reason.
Hey man,
because it's Dan Orlovsky.
That's true.
This the dude that ran out the back of the end zone.
Oh man.
And then Dan Orlovsky
this week too.
He did. Because you know what else he got roasted for? Excuse me. Oh, that caught me off guard. Excuse me. You know what he got roasted for this week? This dude gonna tweet out that he dipped his French fries in olive oil.
Sir?
Not that you know, squirt a little bit of olive oil over your fries with a little bit of, garlic and Parmesan. Yeah, that's different.
That's different. Yeah.
No, he said he dip it in olive oil.
Sir? What?
Let me see one more tweet from Dan Orlovsky.
That's obscure.
And I'm playing this little Dirk.
Like, I have questions, sir. I'm not with that at all.
I expect nothing else. I expect nothing else from a guy that ran out the back of the end zone.
That's terrible. That's bad as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else we got? So, you said we had a lot.
I'm officially suspending my APB for one, Robert Roode, because apparently he was backstage this weekend at SmackDown. He's said to be, all recovered from his surgery. I forget what the injury was. I think it was like a shoulder or something like that. But we should be seeing him back on TV sooner rather than later. Um, this one was just out of left field. So Court Bauer had been doing the rounds on all these different shows, and he told a story from behind the scenes about Vince wanted to do an exploding death match or exploding barbed wire death match in WWE at one point in time.
With who?
I don't know. They said it was during the time, they were trying different things, and when they were relaunching ECW, and they wanted to try to do some different stuff. So he
Sabu
said,
or somebody.
yeah, he said he showed Vince a clip of a death match, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So they said okay, and they got with Kevin Dunn and the team to work on it. So just some suggestions that they were throwing around, and it got, from there it just goes to somebody else. So they were really kind of putting some stuff together, but I guess it never materialized. But basically Vince gave the okay. It just didn't get the follow through. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Because Vince is into some crazy shit.
Probably would have exploded too. If you know, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they would have made sure that happened.
Not no sparklers.
Yeah, no, we're not doing those 4th of July.
You're making your talent look goofy because they don't know how big the explosion gonna be. So they.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for Eddie Kingston in that moment. He had to do the damage control himself and shit.
That was so terrible.
Son, I had PTSD, son.
Right.
You don't know what it's like in the streets, partner.
Sparklers. I hear you.
Damn shame.
So this one, I'm not gonna spend too much time on because we don't really care about it like that. Richard Fliehr. So we're like at least a year plus removed from the whole controversy from Dark Side of the Ring and the Plane Ride from Hell. But apparently he's still salty about that. He's got some lingering feelings about it, and he was asked why he wasn't included in the openings anymore. And
they put you back, bro. They been put you back.
He said, look, he says, I have no idea. I don't really care what anybody says. Arn was giving him a lecture about kissing WWE's ass in his last match, his quote unquote last match.
Oh, Shawn Michaels?
Yeah. No. Like the last match that he did.
Oh, just a couple months ago? Okay.
Yeah. He said it's not me kissing ass to say thank you to WWE and everything like that. But yeah, now he's like having all these people tell him within the 2 minutes that he wasn't in the opening of Raw, the opening of SmackDown, because of all the bullshit from the Plane Ride from Hell coming out, which he's like, I explained a whole bunch in my new doc that it's all BS. It's not true. And he said, I'm calling some people out big time. So to answer your question, if they had left me off, I wouldn't mind it because I've had my time. It's not my time anymore. But it is something that means a lot to me personally. What is else to say? Yeah. He's got some shit to say. I don't know who or what.
I mean, but what's not true? I mean, we've seen the lawsuit. We can go find the documents from the lawsuit that spell everything out.
I don't know, man.
Like, folks think just because they don't go to jail over something mean it ain't true. Like, nah, you just got money you able to pay off and do a settlement.
Yeah.
That don't mean it ain't true.
And the thing is, it's like, it's you, bro. Like,
right.
You ain't been shy about the shit that you do. So where is your benefit of the doubt here?
Like, Ric Flair drunk on a 15-hour airplane ride, exposing himself.
Right, ass naked in a robe. That you
accurate for your boy.
You've admitted to doing it.
Yeah.
On times other than this particular plane ride, you've admitted to doing it. So, hey. I'm passing for that. passing right off of that.
Nah, man, we don't believe you. You need more people.
Yeah. Two more things. So big news this week was that Paige is officially cleared, and not everybody is in agreement that she should be wrestling. That maybe she had a Dr. What's his name, Dr. Dr. Goodlove or whatever dude's name is with the
Malachi
cut.
Love. Something around something about that.
Yeah,
that's the doctor that cleared.
Right. So she decided that if y'all don't really believe me, I'm gonna go ahead and post the note from the doctor on Twitter.
What did the note say? I am cured.
No. So it says, "To whom it may concern, patient is cleared to wrestle with no restrictions." And a Dr. Robert Watkins Jr., orthopedic surgeon at Watkins Spine in Marina del Rey, California, signed the letter. So, I guess this is valid. Pulling this up.
You cleared to wrestle how? Like you cleared to Bret Hart WrestleMania 26 wrestle? Or you cleared to Bryan Danielson? I can wrestle, however, after I came back type wrestle.
Kind of. I mean, it looked legit enough, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like,
hey, shout out to Noah Fant. That scored a touchdown.
Yeah, I need him to keep me alive.
Y'all don't know Noah Fant. He went to the greatest high school in America. Omaha South High.
I needed y'all to beat Michigan yesterday.
Y'all, you knew that wasn't gonna happen.
But I needed it. I really needed it.
Come on, y'all be all right.
I don't like.
Y'all got it. When the last time Michigan beat y'all?
Last year.
I don't need us. Before that.
Yeah.
One time out of how many years? 10?
Yeah. I just don't like that they're so close to us in the rankings.
It's cool. Beat them in a couple weeks.
Like,
you don't need us.
Gotta beat
them. You
them.
putting your trust in us for? However, you need to put your trust in who Michigan play this week.
That's a good question.
Put your trust in that person or that team, rather. Because go look at everybody that's beat Nebraska this season and go look at what they've done since. If you beat Nebraska, you end up losing like the very next week.
Y'all put a curse on somebody?
Yeah, it's the Nebraska curse. Illinois lost 2 weeks in a row since they beat us. Illinois is looking like they was about to it was about to be Illinois and Ohio State in a couple weeks. Probably not.
That's what they're playing. They play Illinois.
Well, Ohio State play Illinois?
No, Michigan.
All right. Let's talk about some football. I don't know about that one. I said football. We are talking about football. Let's talk about some wrestling.
So this last one is gonna be funny. Especially you're gonna find this good and funny because Road Dogg on his show was talking about a bunch of things this week. And we mentioned this before. One of them was the Montreal Screwjob. So he was asked if he thought that losing to Bret Hart was, or WWE losing Bret Hart was the final nail in the war with WCW. Here is the quote that Road Dogg said when it came to Bret Hart. He said, "For me, personally, and that's all you're gonna ever get from me, it's my only reference point. I never saw what the big deal was with Bret Hart as a performer. I never understood.
I saw this. I did see this.
He was a great worker.
They was mad at him.
Yeah, and I thought about saying good, but he was a great worker. He worked better than me tenfold. Worked circles around me. Don't ever think that I've told anybody I was a good wrestler because I had. I don't think I was a good wrestler. I don't think Bret was a great wrestler. I think I was a better sports entertainer than Bret was, and I think that's where the money is."
That's the thing, y'all don't read quotes. He was right though. Like,
oh yeah. If you're talking about like in ring,
if people was like, man, and the thing is, somebody was like, man, I don't know one Road Dogg match, and I was just like, I can name 2 They were both at Mania.
Yeah.
Dumpster match, and then the match when they got their ass cooked by the Shield in New Orleans. But like everything else, like Road Dogg, he got an entrance that is classic, but he got moments though. Like I feel like Road Dogg got more moments from other people's matches than he got moments in his own matches. There's Mankind won the title off The Rock. Road Dogg was there. The Rock, Triple H, Iron Man match at Judgment Day. Road Dogg was there. Undertaker came back as American Badass. WrestleMania 31, Triple H Sting. Road Dogg was there. Interfered in that match. Like he got moments in other people's matches. He don't really got moments like on his own.
Oh yeah,
not like that.
You remember the promos and segments and stuff like that. It's not the in-ring work, but that's the main thing.
That's what people remember. Like people honestly don't remember matches. Like,
yeah.
Tell me you can remember just this obscure match that you said was the greatest match ever from a fucking episode of Dynamite in May 2020. You probably don't remember it now. The wrestling don't matter. Like I don't remember a lot of great matches from like Raw and SmackDown. Yeah. That were just random matches that didn't really have much build and didn't really have much significance to it. Yeah, not all the time.
There's big matches on.
We remember the moments though.
Yeah.
You remember the moments more than anything. Entrances. Road Dogg has been doing this entrance for the last 20 plus years. Still to this day. Literally like 2-3 weeks ago, he did it.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean? He's not wrong.
No, it's like it's.
But he compared himself to Bret Hart, and that just everybody just tunnel vision on everything else he said and just focus on that one.
They trigger.
Yeah.
But no, it's like big matches on big shows. That's stuff that you remember if you're talking about wrestling. But outside of that, it's about the moments. It's about what they said on the mic. It's about what they did or what they were a part of doing. And Bret didn't so much have that.
Who Johnny Gargano faced in like 3 segments a couple weeks ago. I'm not gonna remember that match next year. I'm not gonna remember in a couple months from now. A couple weeks from now, honestly, after War Games, I'm gonna forget that shit happened.
Probably.
I already done forgot. I don't remember who he faced. I remember enjoying it at the time. Was it Chad Gable? It was Chad Gable.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember that match. I'm sorry. That match had 3 segments.
Yeah.
Not gonna remember it.
And it was good. No shade on it, but
nah.
It's not like, oh man, that was fantastic, and I'm going to carry that with me for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Nah. I do agree with Mr. Dog.
Yeah, that gave me a kick. That was funny.
And I don't agree with Mr. Dog because he said it about Bret Hart. If he said it about not Bret Hart, who's somebody else? It's not fair to say Kurt Angle. He was great as a sports entertainer too.
Oh yeah.
Redacted.
Oh boy.
If he said it about Redacted, I would still agree. And not because it's redacted, but because it's true.
Well, let's be keeping 100 here. Whatever we say about Redacted's wrestling career,
disregard that.
No, like it just because at the end of the day, it's like okay, great body of work as a wrestler, but as a sports entertainer, he was bland. There was nothing there. If he didn't have a great wrestling career, we wouldn't even be talking about this dude at all. Because he was not there for entertainment value. He was there to wrestle. That was it. And that's what he did.
Did it a little too well.
Apparently so.
Yeah. But no, I got a little something to say here, and I just realized something, so bear with me. Little technical difficulties here. Let me get this straightened out before we have some issues. But I'm trying to keep this going. What you want to talk about in the meantime, Reek?
You got a peasant? I
do have a peasant, but I don't want this recording to cancel out before I can get the peasant established. So I'm trying to kill time here real quick, just to make sure everything's good. But I do have a peasant. You know what? Let me just do it. because it's gonna take me a minute to get all that set up. So I do have a peasant of the week. Like I said, it's not a wrestler. It's not really a wrestling personality. It's a little bit personal to me. This peasant of the week is personal to me. It's something I personally got offended by earlier this week. So,
I'm packing the edits, guess what?
These peasants, you peasants.
now, the guidelines. What guidelines? Certain guidelines prohibit me from disclosing this individual's name, so I will not do it because it was an agreement made by me and the other members of this community that, you know, certain things do not exit the walls of said community. However, I could not go without doing this. So I'm not gonna say his name, but when I get to talking, Reek, you're gonna know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
This person listens to our show, so he's gonna know who I'm talking about. But redacted name, bring that ass.
Bring that ass here, boy.
It was recently brought back to my attention that dudes out here be eating saltines with ketchup on them. This was recently brought back to my attention. And it was as egregious the second time as it was the first time. There is no amount of struggle in the world.
Oh no.
I've never struggled that hard.
Oh. The second he said saltines, I'm like,
and not just any type of cracker, saltines. I don't even know if they were salted or unsalted. It don't matter. It's saltines with ketchup on it.
Didn't we give him peasant before?
We might have.
Like we did. I think the Sheamus slander might have been.
Yeah, this is deserved too. So, like my body will eat itself before I ever eat this abomination combination. Never again. But now that we on the topic, man, what's some of your favorite struggle meals?
Oh man. What did I throw together? It was always something that was involving like some sliced bread or some bologna or some hot dogs.
Man, pork and beans.
Of course, yeah.
Pork and beans or the SpaghettiOs with the hot dogs in them. That was a delicacy as a child. As a child, that was a delicacy. But listen, I don't know what my favorite struggle meal. I thought this was a struggle meal, but apparently it wasn't. Take a little tortilla, you know, and this you can't do this with a gas stove. I've mentioned this before. You can't do this with a gas stove. You need an electric with the little coils on it. Take the tortilla and just place it flat on the coils, toast it, spread a little peanut butter on that joint.
That's not a struggle meal?
I don't know.
That sounds like one. I made spaghetti tacos.
Oh, what's a spaghetti taco?
Put spaghetti in the tacos.
Inside of a tortilla?
Yeah.
A spaghetti taco?
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Damn, that's. I have nothing to compete with that. I think we can just move on to the next topic. I have nothing. This man says, I mean, I've heard of spaghetti sandwich.
Yeah, man.
Which it might be on the same par of struggle. I've never had a spaghetti sandwich, but I've heard of sugar sandwiches before. I've never done that. I tried to do a sugar sandwich one time. All the sugar fell out my bread. I was like, how do you eat a sugar sandwich?
I don't know.
How you do that?
I don't know why they was doing it. It ain't never make no sense to me.
What other struggle meals do people be eating? Ramen noodles is not struggle to me.
Nah, that's part of the college experience.
That's just the experience, bro.
Yeah.
Ramen. I mean, like, cause like the way I be hooking my ramen up, man. You know, I
Yeah.
boil it on the stove with some water. I throw a little, I throw a little Mrs. Dash, like onion seasoning in that joint,
Mm-hmm.
little cheese. I be putting cheese on my stuff. I don't care. I used to, when I was a kid, that's how I used to eat my ramen noodles.
So I would make bacon and just put it in bread sometimes.
That's
Like,
not a struggle. That's a bacon sandwich.
yeah.
It's breakfast.
I would just be like, no egg or nothing. I just throw it together on some.
Bacon low key expensive. That's not a struggle.
Mm. Yeah, that's true.
Cause I mean, you just
Good.
throwing shit together is not struggle. You gotta, people try to say, man, I had this struggle. I seen somebody say they made a struggle sandwich and they use deluxe deli meat.
Well, look, that's just a sandwich. Like, if you just throwing some, like, that's different.
Deluxe deli meat, that shit costs like $10 a pound.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on,
definitely.
y'all need to do better. All this cap. Real quick, let's talk about Raw and SmackDown. We ain't gonna talk about NXT. That shit was trash.
Yeah, it was not.
We ain't gonna talk about. We could talk a little bit about NXT. The main event was cool. Zoe started to turn heel. It's about the only thing that mattered on the show.
Oh, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, if you've been paying attention, you knew that was coming. Somebody was turning on somebody.
Right.
I don't know who. But before we get into that, man, every week for the rest of the year, somebody from Friday getting added to the throne.
Yeah.
So this week, man, I had to give it to my boy Chris Tucker. Welcome to the throne, my good sir. Chris Tucker was only in one Friday because they couldn't afford him for the second Friday. This man had just came off rush hour. Said, man, y'all gotta pay me, son.
Yesterday's price.
Tell him bring me my money.
Yeah. It ain't today's price.
Nah, but I was listening to Michael Jackson, You Rock My World. And like, I don't want to get into a non-wrestling conversation again outside of this, but we can talk about Michael Jackson at some point because I finally figured out my favorite Michael Jackson song. But I was listening to You Rock My World, and I was like, yo, we got to get this to Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker was on the intro on the album, and then he was in the video with Michael Jackson dancing. Him and Michael Jackson was homeboys for real.
Oh, man.
But this dude was the Hollywood version of The Rock in the late 90s. Was he not? And it was only like 3 years, too. Like, he was really on top for like 3 years.
Can't even argue with that, bro. Because, I mean, you had...
Because The Rock was on top for like 2.
You had Rush Hour. You had, what was it, Money Train?
Money Talks.
Money Talks, yeah. What was after that?
It was Money Talks, Rush Hour. Mm-hmm. Well, before that, he did like Dead Presidents. And then he did
yeah.
Fifth Element. Which one came out first? Yes. Fifth Element or Friday?
Friday. Fifth Element was like close to the end of it. The end of the 90s, like 98,
97.
Something like that.
I feel he did Fifth Element before Money Talks. And then Money Talks was funny as hell. I love that damn movie.
It was 97.
Fifth Element was 97?
Yeah.
So that and Money Talks came out around the same time. Money Talks came out in 97.
Yeah.
So Fifth Element, Money Talks, Rush Hour was just a banger.
Yeah.
And nothing was the same. Like, you couldn't afford Chris Tucker after the first Rush Hour.
Oh, no. Hell.
It was so much they couldn't afford Chris. It couldn't afford him for the third Rush Hour for the longest. Until he did this, like, all right, man. I said, okay, man. Yeah, Rush Hour, all the Rush Hours banger. Silver Linings Playbook. Yeah. That's an underrated Chris Tucker gem right there.
Facts. I forgot about that.
They had me we did like a cold read of the script of Silver Linings Playbook in my film class, and they had me reading Chris Tucker's character. And the whole time is me not trying to deliver my lines as Chris Tucker. Like,
right.
That was such a challenge for me because the whole time I'm like, this is the character Chris Tucker played.
Right.
And it was a challenge. So I survived. Shout out to Chris Tucker. And let's talk about some wrestling. We can get y'all. Shout out to y'all if y'all was listening this far into the episode.
Yeah.
If you listening, I'm gonna send you $5. First person to give me the code word. And the code word is Chris Tucker. And the first person to send me the code word, I'm gonna send y'all $5. They let me know that y'all paying attention and listening.
Oh man,
We're gonna send y'all $5.
it's gonna be somebody out the calf. Watch.
It's fine if it's somebody out the calf, and then going forward, nobody out the calf can do it. That let me know how much people really mess with us.
Man.
Yeah, so we might end up getting humbled. High key. Well, let's talk about Raw, man. I got something to say about Raw. I did not enjoy Raw, and then I watched NXT the next night, and I didn't enjoy NXT, and so I was worried for SmackDown. SmackDown was decent. Raw, I just didn't enjoy it. It was a lot that I didn't really care for. It was a lot of mid this past week. But we did get an official confirmation of War Games. At least one of the matches got confirmed. Damage Control, or I like to call them the Mid Control. They'll be teaming up with Nikki Cross and an unidentified partner versus the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair, Asuka, Alexa Bliss, and 2 unnamed. So, who you think gonna be these last 3 women?
Oh, damn. I would venture to guess that well, no, I was gonna say Rhea should be in there somewhere, but I don't know anymore.
I think so, because you seen Rhea Ripley and Bianca interacted real quick before Bianca.
Yeah, they did. The only reason I say I'm not sure is because we had a not a debut, but a re-emergence or whatever of me and him on this show.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, Candice is it gonna be?
I'm pretty sure Candice is gonna be on Bianca's team.
Yeah, so she'll be in there. I don't know. I guess so. It's Bailey, Dakota, Io, and I guess Nikki's in there somewhere. So yeah,
there's one other person.
Yeah, watch Dana slide in there somewhere.
Hey, she might be on the other squad, so we might get Dana on Bianca team with Candice. So maybe.
I know she's been big mad lately, and she lost her
24/7 championship.
Which
and
is
I got
officially
something
retired.
to say about that. Yeah, I got something that's on my notes. I got something to say about that here when we get to that. But yeah, let's progress real quick here. So Nikki Cross is on Team Damage Control. So Damage Control is rolling with her later in the evening. We'll talk about that here in a second. But we got a promo, the New Day versus the Usos. Some heat. They restored the feeling. They never miss. I was one of the only things that myself and the crowd were engaged in on this show. The crowd was trash.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go to this show. This show for y'all, it was right around my neck of the woods. It's only about 40 minutes away. I was debating whether or not I should go. I'm glad I didn't, because I don't like being a part of garbage crowds. And
the garbage crowd, the show itself was mid too. It wasn't a good night.
And it's not even a new thing. Some of the shows that I've been to just wasn't it.
Yeah.
So
one of the many mistakes on the night was that they had this promo, this fire ass promo. As I was really getting into it, like I felt it, I was feeling it. Matt Riddle came out to tell some weed jokes. Literally his only purpose at this point. Dare I say Vince McMahon booked this man better.
Like, this dude's just pissing me off more and more every week.
Yeah, like Triple H has made me get annoyed with him. I wasn't annoyed. Like, the internet was annoyed with him. I wasn't, because he was still going out there whooping ass. But now he just like, I don't care.
I tell you, for me,
where Randy Orton at? Come back, Matt Riddle turn heel on Randy Orton, make him interesting, try to salvage it.
For me, I think I lost interest after NXT Matt Riddle. That was the most I was invested in. Once he got to the main roster and they started, like, I've said this before, they just turned the amp up on this character. Like, okay, we know he's a goofy, but at least he kept it tuned, to a minimum in NXT. Now it's like,
He a Chicago Goofy or he just a normal Goofy? You know, Chicago Goofy and a normal Goofy, two different things.
Yeah.
Some of our friends from Chicago would probably say he's Chicago Goofy.
Probably. You know what? Our Chicago people, y'all give us a confirmation on that. But yeah, no, they turned it all the way up and just say let loose and go full on fuckboy on TV, and
yeah,
I'm not with it. I'm just not with it.
But then we had Judgment Day came out there, the OC, and they like, yo, we got somebody. We got somebody. And it happened to be Mia Yim. She came out, debuted. Again, this crowd was terrible. There was no reaction for Mia Yim debuting, which is the second mistake, because you got to do Mia Yim a favor and debut her in another way.
Right.
Because the way she debuted a sneak attack on the outside of the ring, the crowd didn't care. The crowd didn't care about much of anything. You're definitely not going to care about this person who was never really ever established on main roster. Like, I doubt people remember her in Retribution, because a lot of us actively are trying to forget about Retribution.
Every day.
But the main roster crowd, they don't know of her time in NXT when she was putting in work, killing it in these ladder matches, and
I'm about to say,
trying to be the foil to Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley and all those women. She was never presented on this level in NXT either, to where like, yo, she an enforcer. Like, she was never really presented like that either. So it fell flat. We need to do better by her. So hopefully, I don't know where they at tomorrow, but hopefully it's a better crowd situation. We can have some appreciation. Now, if they did it in Philly, we might have had some actual reactions to it.
There we go.
But we did it in Wilkes-Barre. Not saying. And there was no reaction for Corbin either, which
that's not good.
Makes me sad, because y'all know Corbin, my boy.
I mean, because y'all got a Hall of Famer in his corner right now.
Yeah.
So it's like that's supposed to.
Like, did he even get a reaction?
Yeah.
JBL come out every week and just talk shit on the crowd for cheap heat. It's the easiest way to get heat.
I would have gone to the show for JBL.
Yeah.
But if y'all gonna act like this, then what the fuck? What's the point?
And honestly, like, he ain't really been getting much of a reaction at all anyway.
So, I mean, you don't need to get too much, but I mean something.
Yeah. So I think we might need to speed up this beat down on JBL that's probably gonna be incoming, because they don't need to be together anyway. Not for long. I think that'll maybe get this man some sympathy and heat. Like, he got to really beat the brakes off of JBL though.
Well, we gotta see what his bump card looking like.
I think JBL could take an end of days, especially from Corbin. Corbin, the safest worker in the company.
Which is funny, because my guy got the riot act ran to him. What was it, like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah,
it's like, man,
he one of the best workers in the company. That's why they put him in these positions. And it was also a little reaction for Jussie Mizanin, which, come on, son. This the Miz. This one of the greatest heels of all time. Y'all couldn't even give this man a reaction. Found out he been capping this whole time.
Right.
I'll take back everything I said about Dexter Lumis too. I was wrong. I can admit it. I'll admit it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jussie Mizanin.
That's true.
And then we talked about the 24/7 championship, man. RIP to the 24/7 title. Great source of entertainment. As recently as this year, we had the double wedding with the 24/7 title. That was this year. You don't remember?
Yeah, that was.
This we had what? Who's all of the famous people that have held a 24/7 title? It was a NASCAR driver. It wasn't Kyle Busch, was it?
No.
It's Googleable.
No, but Gronk had it.
Gronk, Rob Stone.
Yeah, Rosenberg.
From, Fox Sports. Yeah, Pete Rosenberg had it. I'm trying to think of the NASCAR driver while I'm trying to Google it.
I think Joe Buck too. One of the announcers from Fox or something.
It was Kyle Busch.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, Kyle Busch did win it. Joe Buck might have won it too.
Yeah, it was one of them on the Fox booth.
It was in his cancer weak ass won it.
um,
You know, in his cancer hate Thanksgiving.
oh yeah, most definitely.
He said, "No, I can't mess with turkey time."
Like what?
That was very dark. That was dark humor that a lot of people I don't think gonna get. Nah, but man, listen, like I feel like they didn't even try with the 24/7 title. Like the previous regime didn't really try, but they tried a little bit better than Triple H did. And I thought 24/7 was like right up Triple H's alley. If we talking about like DX type humor, you could have did something with it.
The thing was, there was a formula to follow. He didn't follow it, and I'm gonna go off of what I was personally told by Mick Foley 3 years ago. Mind you, I didn't know I was gonna meet Mick Foley. It was just a moment. I was covering an MMA event, and he just popped up in Long Island like that. Because I was with some people. We asked him about it.
Y'all cover the MMA events and just be meeting all these wrestling personalities at random.
Yeah, no, bro, we was in catering eating, and then my dude just walked in the back. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna sit up here and not talk to Mick Foley. And this was when it had just got introduced, like I think that week.
Mm-hmm.
And so we asked him about it, because he in the know. He got his ear in there. So he was like, it's new, but the thing is that I think the right person can make this work. It's because he obviously heard a lot of criticism about it already. It's like, people are being hard on it, but the right person can, kind of take this to where it needs to go. The right person obviously was R-Truth.
Mm-hmm.
But there was only so far that he could take it after a while. Like, okay, he had his own run with it. And then, the thing with him and Carmella, and it's like, then he was just chasing it from everybody, doing all these skits with like Tozawa and everyone like that.
Didn't Santa Claus win it?
I think so. But he was Santa Claus too at one point.
I think
So
actual Santa won it too.
Yeah, it's
it
like
was some mayor in Tennessee won it too. This shit was weird.
Yeah, I heard about that. It was on a football field too.
Yeah,
which I don't know why he was out there.
It was at the Tennessee football field
where
they ended up taking the uprights and walking around the city with it. That happened.
That was some weird shit. But yeah, no. That was, as long as you kept him around in the mix, it was going to be watch worthy. But then we stopped doing that, so yeah, I don't know what you expected to happen after that.
Man. I feel like you could have made this title like a digital exclusive or even just live event. Like, give people something to do. Like, just instead of having them just sitting around during the intermission, like make the intermissions can't miss.
Yeah, like don't have this on TV.
It didn't need to be on TV, but it was a wasted opportunity for the guys and the girls who don't normally get on TV to have something to do, something to kind of keep their name out there. Because like, how many times do you see somebody that don't ever show up on TV, and when they do show up on TV, you're like, I forgot all about them.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
That is the only championship EC3 ever won in WWE.
24/7.
Yep. He didn't win shit else.
Huh?
Didn't win nothing else while he was
there. And the Revival won it at the same time too.
They did.
Damn, I forgot all about that. But no, like you could have really had an opportunity to do some viral moments, like really put some effort into doing this like as a digital exclusive for social media, for Twitter, Instagram. Like, y'all hype up your social media numbers all the time. You could have got some more. I'm just saying. Now, once again, they don't have anything. There's only so many people you can push on TV at a time. You had Dana Brooke doing something for once.
That just posed a very interesting question, since we're talking about the 24/7 championship. And I'm going to save this for next week. But someone has vanished. Now that I was thinking about the 24/7 championship. No.
Tozawa?
Nope. Person that has the longest reign with the 24/7 championship.
Oh yeah, I thought about that too.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed. I thought about it because Halloween was last week, and I dressed up as this man for Halloween.
Yeah.
And I thought about like where my man's been at.
Yeah. And I don't have a whole lot for him, but they was featuring him a whole hell of a lot for him to suddenly have vanished.
At least let him go to NXT.
Yeah.
At least let him be Hit Rose Flavor Flav or something.
Do that.
Him and Dollar
Go back.
cool.
Go back to the side nigga approach.
Yeah.
Be a sommelier.
Something. Let him do something. Yeah, treat my brother like I don't want to have to see him being in Malcolm Bivens' stable in a few months. I don't want to see that.
Oh no, don't do that.
Stokely Hathaway is his
Stokely, yeah.
I don't need that.
Ugh.
Shout out to my man's Reggie.
Facts.
What else we got on this, man? That was mistake number 3, getting rid of the 24/7 title. Especially the way they did it. Like if you was gonna retire, you could have just retired it. Just quietly. Like you bring it back to TV randomly, have a match for it, and then change hands with the belt. And then the person that won it just attempts to throw it in the trash, misses the trash can completely, which I think actually added to it. It's crazy how like certain botches add to things. So like that moment was a botch.
Mm-hmm.
But it helped because it's like, well, she obviously don't care about the title. She didn't care to get the belt when she won it, which I think she's won the 24/7 title like 4 times. So she didn't care to get the belt after she won it again. Bayley had to, put it on her shoulder. She didn't touch it until she went to throw it away. And then misses the trash can completely. So that helped. It added to it, but it's just, could have just retired it quietly. We already done forgot about it anyway.
Yeah.
You didn't have to do that.
It wasn't on TV.
Nah. And then my mistake number 4 from Monday Night Raw. Austin Theory. I did not like this at all. One, because Seth was set to do an open challenge, and then he got interrupted by the Judgment Day and then the OC shit. Seth was like, yo, I'm out of here. Fuck this. I'm out of here. It's between y'all. I don't want no parts. Smart man. Very smart man. Very smart. But he was like, all right, I'll do my stuff later on. He came out there later on. And then Mustafa Ali popped up on the Tron trying to talk his shit. And I'm like, man, I know we ain't about to have no damn Mustafa Ali in the main event.
Nah, we're not going
to. I know we ain't about to have it. And we did. Thankfully. Because Bobby Lashley beat this man's ass. Mustafa Ali got his ass cooked.
He got his ass cooked. He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
And then Bobby Lashley was like, only reason you have that championship is because Brock Lesnar. So I need my title back. He was talking this shit. And then Ali thought he was going to get some licks in. And Bobby Lashley was like, nigga, please. Threw him out again. Bobby Lashley came out there. And I'm thinking we about to get Bobby Lashley and Seth. So I'll leave out the ring, I said I'll leave out the ring. I'll leave out the room for maybe like 5 minutes. And then I come back, and then I see motherfucking like Kenny Dykstra and Jamie Noble and P. Williams and shit coming out here trying to, separate Bobby Lashley. They ended up sending Bobby Lashley back. It was like, nah, Seth can't compete. So I'm thinking like, damn, I don't know what's about to happen. They went to commercial. I left out the room again. Apparently, I was out the room for too long because when I came back, I see Seth then beat somebody and retain the championship. I have no idea what happened in between that time. Apparently, in between this time, Austin Theory came out and cashed in his money in the bank on a mid-card championship. First time that's ever happened. And he ended up losing.
Yeah.
And so the justification I seen on Twitter was, this is people that don't care about Theory anyway in the first place. So it's just like, I don't expect them to have a level-headed opinion on it. But the justification was that Triple H is not obligated to stick with the plans that the original, administration had. Which is true. It's true. But is this the best we could do about this Money in the Bank briefcase? because it was just like he should have never had it in the first place. I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I just thought you could have gave him a little bit more of an edge. God, I don't know. Does he still do the selfie thing? I don't pay attention.
No, not really. Well, actually,
Look,
I don't think at all. I haven't seen him do
so
it.
they've calmed down on the selfie thing, like I suggested. But I thought we could have gave this kid more of an edge. And it's just like, soon as Triple H comes around, he's off TV for like 4 weeks. And
Well,
all his heat is gone when he comes back.
Well, this is what I said a couple weeks ago, because at the end of the day, he got spotlighted in NXT when Triple H was still running it. So it's not like he wasn't someone that Triple H wanted to work with, but Vince just saw him as like, oh, let's send this guy to the fucking moon. So he gets on main roster, he wins Money in the Bank.
That's how he was presented at first, though, at Evolve.
Well, yeah,
that's literally how they try to present him, is like, yo, he's next up. That's like the impression I got from it.
Yeah, it's like they wanted to, I guess they wanted to do it before he was ready to actually pull the trigger on this dude. So it's like, okay, let's calm down a little bit, because I still got some stuff I want to do. And it's like, when you put Money in the Bank on him, it's like, now you just you put a scheduled date that at some point in time this dude's going to do it. And it's like, do I see him beating Roman Reigns though? It's like, nah. That was the thing. So it's like, now you're stuck in the corner. So it's like, you don't want to bury the guy, but you got to get this. Yeah.
He had until July. Roman probably gonna lose the title well before July. Roman probably gonna lose the title in April.
Yeah, most likely.
To who? Jey Uso, Cody Rhodes. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but here's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought, maybe Seth could beat Roman. If we don't want to go the route of Jey Uso or Cody, you could have Seth. That, man. Have Seth beat him. Have Cody win Money in the Bank next year in July. Probably be July 1st. Austin Theory won Money in the Bank on July 2nd. Mm-hmm. So we have 2 Money in the Banks, assuming Austin Theory doesn't cash it. He cashes in on here's my theory how I thought it would go. It don't matter no more, so I can present it. Cody wins Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. Cody says, immediately after winning Money in the Bank, he says, I'm going to cash in later tonight. I'm going to give the champ a few hours to get ready, have him cash in, have Cody beat whoever was a champ, Seth Rollins, more than likely, by my theory. Have Seth beat Roman, have Seth beat the champ, have Cody beat Seth at Money in the Bank. Yeah, 4 times in a row for the championship. And then have Austin Theory cash in immediately on Cody, because we done forgot he was Money in the Bank too. And you could have did it that way. And then have Cody and Theory feud, have Cody get the belt off him. It was something that made sense to me at the time. I thought about this some weeks back.
Not to say that sounds smart to me.
Because I guarantee you, if Vince McMahon booked the main event on Monday Night Raw, everybody would have a problem with it. But now y'all don't have a problem with it because Vince didn't do it. But the same exact thing happens if Vince books it. And so it's gonna be a problem. And that's my problem with nobody apparently having an issue with how that went down. Because if this was booked the same way by somebody who y'all didn't like, y'all would have been all up in arms about it. But now it's justified because, he's not obligated to do the same thing. Well, Vince isn't obligated to do. Vince was never obligated to do anything that y'all wanted. So he knew that. He didn't do it.
I'm about to say, like, he actively did the opposite. And that's why y'all was mad.
So now all of a sudden y'all care about what somebody's obligated to do or not to do. It's crazy to you.
I didn't expect him at any point throughout this year to cash in and win. And I was fine with him dropping into the back. I said it before. Keep it off TV.
I mean, y'all could have did the NXT title for real.
They could have. Like, keep it in the background. Keep him from cashing it in. Don't do no teases, nothing like that. Just let him be for as long as you want to do.
Y'all cashing for a mid-card title, and y'all are okay with that.
Yeah, I don't understand what
y'all okay with that because it's not Vince. That is crazy.
Like it's one thing if you do a cash in and he fails in it. We've seen that happen before.
We need to start. I love Triple H, man. We
Like
need to start being honest.
I
I've been
don't.
being honest from the jump. I'm sorry, I'm cutting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's like I don't mind failed cash ins. Like he can get it back. He can win the title another way. Like it's not a big deal. But switching the rules up, Money in the Bank is only for a world title. So I don't understand where we decided we're just gonna change the rules on this. So that was my issue.
Let's say come back tomorrow and he's like, well, my contract was only for a world championship. I should still be Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But I highly doubt they're gonna do that. So it don't
time.
matter.
we still got time to fix this.
I doubt that they're not gonna fix it. I doubt it. Everything is just like we need to do. I mean, it's not the complete opposite of Vince, but it's just like we need to just go back to this formula. Because like, I mean, Nikki and Doudrop. Like there were seeds planted for Nikki and Doudrop for the longest. Whereas Nikki is just becoming just fed up and unhinged. But like she just completely went to the extreme. They didn't explain it. Her just going and getting her old name back randomly. LA Knight, the same thing. It's weeks of just breaking down is automatically just back to doing the old shit.
Yeah, that's that whole you just giving the people what they want. Oh, we didn't like Nikki as a superhero. Give us Nikki, crazy Nikki. We didn't like Max Dupree. So let's give us LA Knight back. Like that's what that was really.
And I don't like that. Don't do things just because people want to do it. Do things because they make sense. And if you can kill two birds with one stone, perfect. But I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, do it because
you're doing it because you're doing it.
Right.
Like you putting Io Shirai and Dakota Kai with Bailey just because you need for something for them to do. It's like that's not hidden. Sometimes it's not hidden with your boy. Things got to make sense. Just don't do things to do them. And how long is this Triple H leash supposed to be? How long is the honeymoon period supposed to be? Like how much longer can we not criticize him for certain things? Because I should have seen some criticism for this Austin Theory shit. And I did. I saw the criticism for it. But then the people who usually are on their soapbox about things had no problem with it. And that's crazy. But yeah, we've been talking about Monday Night Raw for the grip for a show that wasn't that appealing to your boy. But one more thing, I feel like it's only right that my boy Otis got a match sponsored by the Golden Corral. It's just what we talk about things that make sense. That makes sense.
It did.
One of the few things on this show that makes sense to me.
Damn.
Shout out to Otis. Because really only two people you can get sponsored by Golden Corral on this roster. Otis and Kevin Owens.
Oh, don't do that. That's cold-blooded.
Hey, let's talk about SmackDown real quick, man. Like I said, we're not going to talk about NXT. Because the thing that mattered in NXT, we already said it. But we had Usos and New Day kicked it off on SmackDown. Wasn't expecting that. I was expecting the main event.
Right.
We see the Usos in the main event later on. But we don't usually rate TV matches A+++.
Yeah, no doubt. Easily.
They almost had me, man. I thought the New Day was going to win it. When they hit the midnight hour on Jey Uso outside the ring, and then they hit another one immediately on Jimmy in the ring, I thought it was it. Shout out to the Usos. They will become the longest reigning tag team champions. I don't know, at some point this week, possibly. They said there's no other tag team championship matches scheduled between now and whenever they're going to get the record. So they're going to get the record. Off rip, to me, this is the greatest tag team ever. I think Reek back. You think the Usos the greatest tag team ever?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no question.
Like, officially. It's official now. Like, if you weren't sure before.
I mean, there was like couple teams in the mix. Like you got them. You had New Day,
Dudleys,
yeah, Dudley's. Like you had
Edge and
that little
Christian.
circle. Yeah, you had the circle that they was in. After this, especially within the last year, now it's like they up there. That's it.
And the
they
New Day
breaking the
been
record
better
this
than
week.
the Dudleys too for a minute.
Yeah,
I feel like
Yeah.
it's just like a cycle thing. Like the New Day done beat the Dudleys for a championship to retain their titles.
yeah, that's
So they beat the original greatest tag team. And then the Usos beat the New Day. So I just think,
right. And
tell
it's like
somebody beat the New Day.
the last calendar year that they had, the Usos been putting that resume out there that okay, they got it. But now that they set the record,
It's
it
awkward.
ain't in the conversation no more, bro.
Yeah.
They got it.
Big facts. And I know who should beat them for the belts too.
We already discussed this, right?
Yeah, we might have discussed.
I was like,
greatest tag team ever.
I've come around on that.
Yeah, I could see some things playing out in the way that they'll play out. I have more to say about that here, actually, about my prediction. But we had the SmackDown World Cup started off, and we actually got some foreigners in this World Cup now. And the last World Cup was nothing but Americans.
They promoted it right this time for once.
Yeah, we got who we got represent. We got 3 Americans in this one. In fact, we got 2 Americans facing off next week. But we got 3 Americans: Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Mustafa Ali and Ricochet facing off next week after what Braun said last week.
Oh man!
So go have the flippy dudes doing flippy dude stuff. But we had Braun defeated Jinder Mahal in the first round. America versus I don't know what gender is in there as Canadian or Indian. I don't know.
I think they had the Indian flag up, so that's
Okay.
what they're going with.
Okay. So Braun and Jinder showed back up on TV for once just to lose. It's another mistake. I don't like when Jinder be losing.
He said, "Greatest WWE champion ever." And you took a mean L, bro. That's bad. That's bad.
And then we had Mexico versus Japan. Santos Escobar defeated Shinsuke Nakamura. So they moving on. And then we got the other matches. We got Shotzi. Shotzi won a championship opportunity versus Ronda Rousey at Survivor Series. She gonna get cooked.
Oh yeah.
She got cooked backstage afterwards. Shayna Baszler said, "Nuh-uh. You thought." Yeah, she gonna get cooked.
It might be good though. It might be good.
It's gonna be good. She just gonna get cooked.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then we had Sarah Logan re-debuted in blackface. Whatever that was about. Which was like me as a black person, my first thought was she debuted in blackface. And knowing how I already feel about Sarah Logan, she stinks up my television every time she's on. I literally I can smell her through my TV. I could smell her through my TV. You ever smell a sweaty person?
Oh yeah.
That's what she smelled like to me. Just sweat and must.
Well, see, this is my thing, right? I have a thing about things that are just tone deaf. And look, I'm in the mythology. I know how the aesthetic looks, stuff like that. So I can see, like, okay, that's not really like actually blackface. But here's the thing. For a person that was posting about, where she stands about certain shit and going to boogaloos and all this other shit. If you don't know what a boogaloo is, look it the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
For that to be public and you to bring her back under, this certain look, it's like, and then she's beating up a black woman.
Yeah.
It's imagery. It's sick that I see.
Black rappers at that.
Yeah. It's just, there's a certain tone deafness I need y'all to not be portraying on my television.
Yeah.
That's what that was. And that whole thing is why I don't care for Sarah Logan in the first place. On top of everything else, because I agree.
I never cared before I knew any of that stuff.
So. That's what I'm saying. Like I didn't care. I didn't care when she was in the Riot Squad. I didn't care none about that. She's
been musty to me the entire time.
So it's like when she came back the first time, it was like, yeah, I can see what you were saying there too. But it's like, before I even get to all of that, you want some other shit that I'm not with. So, you're just starting behind the 8 ball, and then you add this into it. It's like this is just a miss. This is a miss and a half.
Yeah. So like as a black person, my first thought was like, yo, this is blackface. But then I seen a couple wrestlers I know of personally. Wasteland War Party.
Yeah.
Wasteland War Party, Heidi Howitzer, Max the Impaler.
Right, yeah.
They get on Twitter like immediately. And it's like, interesting look.
Yeah.
Because that's literally their look. If you go look up Heidi Howitzer and Max the Impaler.
Especially Max.
Yeah, especially Max.
Whew.
So that I was just like, damn. So it's two different things. So everybody has a point here. But yeah, let's yeah. And this got to be the last straw for the Viking Raiders too.
Yeah, if this don't work, bye-bye. And I'm not gonna miss you.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna miss her either.
No.
So, but in our main event, man, main event segment, we got the bloodline came out there. Roman, after the Usos won, they was like, yo, we got something coming up. We gotta say something. So get out there in the bloodline. Roman's about to say something, and then here come the Brawling Brutes, Butch and Ridge Holland, and they like, hey, yo, son, y'all must have forgot Roy Jones Jr. Here comes Sheamus. He back off of the honeymoon. He's like, fella. His mic didn't work, so he's just like, yo, my mic ain't working. I'm just about to come out there and whoop y'all ass.
Yeah, same. You're not talking.
So it's just like, yo, we 3-on-4. Like Sami Zayn's not here. Sami Zayn tweeted out something in Arabic yesterday, which led me to believe he might have experienced a death in his family.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he wasn't around. So our condolences to Sami Zayn and his family. But Sami Zayn wasn't there. So it's 4 from the bloodline. It's 3 Brawling Brutes. We need somebody else.
Who else?
We all know. Mr. Leftover Lasagna. Drew McIntyre came out there, even the score. So we probably gonna get a War Games with this one. So we got the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. It's 5 versus the Brawling Brutes, Drew McIntyre, and they got one other person. Who is that other person? Who? I know who. He main evented WrestleMania.
Oh man,
this one it makes sense. Kevin Owens more than likely gonna be that other person. Where Kevin Owens been at? I ain't seen him in weeks. Last time I seen him, I think he was interacting with Sami Zayn in the Bloodline.
I was about to say. So from what I've heard, he was supposed to. So Sami was not supposed to be doing all this. Like this was not supposed to be a long-term thing that was going on. There was going to be a couple weeks he was going to be with the Bloodline, and it was going to be it. And they had something playing with him as Kevin Owens. Obviously,
I'm going to take credit for that. I'm going to take credit for that.
Yeah, but
I feel like I had a hand in this being a long-term story just off of a viral Twitter post.
I mean, it's something that it all plays a part in it. Social media blew up about it. The crowd blew up about it. So obviously, they're gonna go with what the crowd is feeling. They listening to.
I toot my own horn sometimes.
But yeah, they put Kevin Owens on ice ever since that happened, because they didn't have anything outside of that plan for him. Putting him in this, I wouldn't be mad. It's not the first time they just shoehorned into a War Games match.
Yeah.
But yeah, if not that, I don't know who else could.
I was looking at the roster. Nobody makes sense. Like Shinsuke,
nah,
maybe, but that don't make sense to me.
Nah, I wouldn't.
And I was just looking at SmackDown too. I probably should have looked at Raw, but there's nobody really comes to mind. I mean Gunther, but then Gunther like got his boys though already.
Yeah, it's like if you gonna have him, and you might as well have the whole squad.
Yeah. So nobody makes sense to me besides Kevin Owens. Especially when you look at like my theory of Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are going to be the ones to beat the Usos. Because Sami, like, I've seen people saying Sami Zayn versus Roman. And I thought that too. I thought that too, but it's like, it don't make sense. His beef is not with Roman. His beef is with Jey Uso.
Right. And that's going to be the program between the two of them. And that, for me, that's going to be the catalyst for Jay going after Roman.
Yeah.
I see what people say about like Sammy, because it's like that organic, crowd love like that Daniel Bryan had. But my thing is like you got to think about sustainability. It's like it can't be that he peaks during the chase and then the title reign is trash. That's how a lot of failures happen.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay,
baby faces.
if you like giving him white hot responses on the way up to the title match, okay, fine. What happens afterwards? Because eventually it's gonna be like, oh yeah, he has one night that he celebrates afterwards, and then the next week it's gonna be like a little bit lighter. Then the next week it's gonna be lukewarm. The next week nobody's gonna care.
Kofi Kingston.
Exactly. So you don't want to do that for this guy, and you don't want to take a title or both titles off of Roman for that. So the whole point of Roman having, breaking all these records is you want to build a megastar off of this. If Sami Zayn's not going to be a megastar, don't waste the time.
Facts. You know who could be a megastar off of this? Cody.
He could be.
I'm just saying Triple H. Because apparently fans feel like you're not obligated to stick with the plans of the original regime.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take this Cody thing from me, man.
Yeah, for real.
Don't take this Cody thing from me.
Especially if we're going to split the titles again, which they need to. You have two options right there. If The Rock is not available, which I don't see in a scenario where he wouldn't be at this point, but if for whatever reason that don't fall through, you got two options to go with for two titles.
Yeah. Speaking of The Rock, I was this close to giving him Peasant of the Week. I was like this close.
What happened?
This man be on Instagram eating breakfast with tequila.
Right. I did peep that last night.
This man had two big ass plates. He had one plate full of 6 biscuits. He had a dozen eggs, a couple slices of bacon.
Yeah.
On the other plate, this man had like 6 coconut pancakes.
Yeah.
And then he gonna pour a glass of tequila.
Yeah, no,
the tequila was already frozen, and he poured it into a glass with like 7 ice cubes in it.
That does not go together.
Whose man's is this?
That dude is different, man. I don't got nothing for that.
I'm gonna try it one day. I got some terramana in there. I'm gonna make some biscuits, make some eggs. I don't have no bacon. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna have a Rock breakfast. I'm gonna make some pancakes, biscuits, and eggs, and some terramana, and we're gonna try it out.
He does that with like every cheat meal he does. It's like
every single.
It's his product placement. But like, let's be realistic. You're not drinking tequila with all of that.
I feel like he do though. Because this man was on Monday Night Football taking the tequila to the head on the Manning cast. So I feel like he really do be drinking his tequila like that.
I can't do it. Like,
I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong.
It is. Like I'm not going to knock it.
I never thought to have it with breakfast though.
Right. Like that doesn't go together. There's certain stuff you're not drinking. You gotta.
I'm gonna have it with my breakfast this morning.
That's just not cultured. Nah. Your parent. That's not part of your pairings, bro. Tequila don't go with this.
Shout out to his daughter though.
Facts.
She been looking comfortable on TV. I feel like if your dad is The Rock, you gotta be comfortable.
Yeah.
If you part of that family.
And doing her own thing too.
Facts. That's the most important part.
When you break away from the mold of like what, especially with that family as deep as they are, and it's like you get your own thing, your own groove in there. That's perfect. Gotta love that.
Did wonders for Solo Sikoa.
It damn sure did.
Now he stands out on his own pretty much. Like, so you probably do that with her. Probably put her with the Bloodline in like a year. Bloodline not going to exist in a year, but
yeah,
it's not.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Bloodline got about 5 months left.
Man.
We already see it. They cracking already. So
that's going to be like the A1 faction when it's all said and done.
Oh yeah. I can't see nobody better. Like longest reigning world and tag champs.
Right.
Come on, son.
What are you gonna do about that?
Nothing. I need to get that Nori on you.
Facts.
Shout out to Nori, goddammit.
Real
Shout out to Young Kings Wrestling. I think we done here, man. Unless we got nothing else.
I don't got nothing. Football starting.
Hell yeah, that's I gotta get it once again. It's social plug-in time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Start the timer. Y'all can find me at RickHavoc24 on Instagram and on Twitter. Also, go check out the Havoc Hour on all streaming platforms where you find Young Kings Wrestling. I'm talking sports and entertainment. Spotify, Anchor, Google Podcasts, and the video versions are up on YouTube. And also go check out the Instagram page _ the Havoc Hour _.
Yeah, and I am the Thespian TC Fontaine. I'm gonna get a new nickname. I haven't acted in a minute. I'm actually taking a year off acting.
What?
I said I was gonna take not a full year, but graduated in May. Haven't done much since then. Pilot season coming up, so I'm gonna just spend the next few weeks at least getting ready for pilot season, and then trying to slowly get back out there again, early 2023. And maybe in the summer we can ramp it up and start getting into some stuff for real. But yeah. Right now we are in active thespian mode. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram if you feel like it. TC.Fontaine, Twitter, TC Fontaine. Young Kings Wrestling is everywhere. YK Wrestling everywhere on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We might make a TikTok one. We'll make a TikTok. What am I gonna post on it?
I don't even know. I got one out of pure peer pressure, and I don't put nothing on it. I just the people that I know that post on there, I just watch them to get some laughs out because I have no idea what I'd be putting.
I got one TikTok where I just post like motivational quotes and clips of Steve Harvey and The Rock talking about how successful they became by doing this and that.
Yeah, that's
things are popular.
That's stuff I listen to in the mornings on the way to work. Like,
yeah, that type of stuff is popular on TikTok and Instagram and YouTube. So it's pretty easy to build a brand off of it. So I've been trying to build that up the last couple weeks or so. I made it earlier this year. Like I made it in January, and then I was posting on it crazy for like 2 months and wasn't really getting much of anything view wise. And so I just like been kind of tiptoeing around it throughout the year, and I started posting on it again in September. So the numbers is trying to come back up. I'm trying different formulas. I know algorithms are crazy, so you gotta know how to manipulate algorithms, and if you don't, and you see you not getting no hits or nothing, you're gonna give up. So that was me.
nice.
I was like, I gotta just figure out how it works because this is fairly new to your boy. Yeah. Algorithms have been around for a minute, but like as far as social media goes, they really only been putting the work into it the last like 7 years or so. So once you figure out how it works, then so it's just a matter of figuring out what works, going back to the drawing board. And then sometimes you get a hit. Like I posted a clip from last Versus show I went to.
Mm-hmm.
I posted on our YouTube. I posted at like 8 p.m. I go look at it 6 a.m. 1,700 views. Like, god damn.
Yo.
So you gotta know how the algorithm works. So now I'm trying to figure out like what did I do? I gotta post all my shits overnight. All the people overseas gonna look at it.
Yeah.
So
I got a friend at work that do it like on the regular, and like she know all the ins and outs of it. So if I ever want to like really get into it, I'd just be like, yo, show me the ways. Right. If you start making money off it, then it's like that's how I know I gotta go to you. So
Facts. Yeah. Be our manager for our social media. Right. If I know what I'm doing wrong, I'll give you all the clips I have. You can do the TikTok thing.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want to be our social media manager for TikTok, if you know what I'm not doing right on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, if you know, teach me the fucking game, Ghost.
Right.
Indeed. But yeah, Young Kings Wrestling. Follow us. Check us out, ykwrestling.com. If you remember the keyword, I'll send you $5. But But that's it, man. We out of here. Go. One day Malik gonna come back on here too. One day.
One day.
One day.